readers! I'm here with one of my favorite Halloween time books called Creepy Carrots by Erin Reynolds and pictures illustrated by Peter Brown. It's a great book, and as I read it today, I'm going to be thinking about how readers are meaning detectives. So as I'm reading, I'm going to be thinking about what's happening in this story, what's going on. Especially, I'm going to be thinking about what happens in the beginning of the story, what happens in the middle of the story, and what happens at the end of the story. There are many ways to retell a story. One type of retell is a tell everything retell. In a tell everything retell, you say what happens on every page of the book. You say things like first, blah, then, next, after that, and on and on and on. And for an tell everything retell, sometimes people will look at every single page until they get to the last page. So they will use the book to help them. Most of the time, this is not the type of retell that you want to give. So like when a friend asks, hey, what happens in that book? They usually don't want to hear what happens on every single page, right? But you can tell them a beginning, middle, end retell. And that's what we're going to focus on today. A beginning, middle, end retell is just like the name. We say in the beginning or at the start of the book, and then we talk about what happens on the very first page or the very first couple of pages. Then we say something like then in the middle, and we talk about what happens in most of the book. But we don't say every single thing that happens in the middle. We just say the important things. The things that the person we're talking to has to know in order to understand what's going on in the story. And then, as long as we're not trying to spoil it, we say in the end, and we talk about what happens on the last page or the last couple of pages, the important thing that happens. This is what we're going to practice today as we read my story, Creepy Carrots. Creepy Carrots. Jasper Rabbit had a passion for carrots. And the carrots that grew in Crackenhopper Field were the best, fat, crisp, and free for the taking. He pulled some for a morning snack on the way to school. He yanked out a few on his way to Little League practice. He ripped them from the ground on his way home at night. Jasper couldn't get enough carrots. So I'm thinking that what happens in the middle of this, in the beginning of this story, is that we learn that Jasper, the main character, really likes carrots and that he likes to eat them from Crackenhopper Field. So, I might write that. In the beginning, Jasper eats a lot of yummy carrots from a field. Period. Where was I? Jasper couldn't get enough carrots until they started following him. He first noticed something strange after the big game against the East Valley Hares. Jasper was about to help himself to a victory snack when he heard it. The soft, sinister tunk, tunk, tunk of carrots creeping. He turned, but there was nothing there. Just my imagination, he thought, but he hopped a little faster. That night, as he was brushing his teeth, there they were. Jasper whipped around, but nothing. He laughed at himself, picked his toothbrush off the floor, and went to bed quickly. The next morning, he approached Crackenhopper Field slowly. He reached for 2 wild carrots. Nothing happened. He bit into one. Nothing happened. Ooh, creepy carrots. It was ridiculous. But when he arrived home that evening, Mom! Mom! Jasper screamed. Creepy carrots in the shed! His mom opened the door slowly. There weren't any carrots, not even the regular kind. There are no such things as creepy carrots, Mom said, shaking. Later that night, as Jasper lay in bed, he heard it. Breathing. Terrible, carroty breathing. And there, on the wall, creepy carrots! He shouted. Dad! Dad! His dad thumped into his bedroom and threw on the lights. They searched under the bed. No creepy carrots. They looked through the closet. No creepy carrots. They opened the dresser drawers. No creepy carrots. Just a bad dream, son, his dad said, shaking his head. Now go to sleep. That wasn't going to happen. At the end of the week, Jasper was seen. Creepy carrots creeping everywhere. Jasper knew his parents were wrong. Creepy carrots were real, and they were coming for him. But they couldn't get him if they couldn't get out. Jasper hatched a plan. First thing on Saturday, he grabbed supplies and headed to Krakenhopper Field. This kind of feels like it's going to be the end of the story. So I'm going to stop for a minute and think about what happened in the middle of this story. So in the beginning, Jasper eats a lot of yummy carrots from a field. In the middle, he thinks creepy carrots are following him. I wonder if my reader needs to know anything else important. I think when he hatches the plan, that's at the end, but I'll keep reading and see. Here's Jasper hatching his plan. Looks like he's building a wall around the carrots to keep them in. There they are. As the sun finally set across Krakenhopper Field, Jasper Rabbit smiled. On his way home, there was no tunk-tunk. There were no carrot-shaped shadows. His plan had worked. No creepy carrots would ever get out of that carrot patch again. And as the sun finally set, the carrots of Krakenhopper Field cheered. Their creepy plan had worked. They were sure of it. Jasper Rabbit would never get into that carrot patch ever again. Oh my goodness. Love that story. So, the creepy carrots were following him. In the middle, he thinks carrots are following him. They have a plan to make him stop eating them. I didn't know that until the end, but okay. At the end, Jasper builds a fence to keep the carrots in. They are happy. Their plan worked. So now I can tell a friend who says, hey, Mrs. Norton. Well, my friends will call me Alex. Hey, Alex, what is this story about, creepy carrots? And I could say, well, in the beginning, Jasper, the main character, eats a lot of yummy carrots from this field. In the middle, though, he thinks that they start following him, but the carrots actually have a plan to make Jasper stop eating them by scaring him and making him think that they're following him. And at the end, Jasper builds a fence to keep the carrots in, and they are happy that their plan worked. Here's my written beginning, middle, end. So you see, readers, there are many ways to retell. I didn't retell everything. I didn't say what happened on every single page of the book. I gave a beginning, middle, end retell, and that's what you're going to practice today. Choose a book from your book box that you really understand, because that's what mini detectives do, is they figure out what the book is saying, right? Reread the book and think about what happens in the beginning, what happens in the middle, and what happens in the end, just like I did. Then get one of these sheets from the reading folder in the front of the classroom and write in star letters, starting, well, the capital is already there for you, but making sure to end with a period, and say what happens in the beginning of your book, in the middle of your book, and at the end of your book. When you're done, cut it out and glue it in your reading notebook. Don't forget the date. Make sure to put that comma in there. Happy reading!